It is important to represent social groups in different ways through the media because this has such a big impact on how people view things and make their judgments. It is also important because it can affect the fans of your product, some of which will devote a lot of time to how a certain character is portrayed and notice any changes that have been made to the persona and ask why. In my genre teen horror, it is very often you see a group of teenagers all with stereotypical roles which are made explicit. These are normally along the lines of a jock, nerd, screamer, rogue, delinquent and rebel. My Codes and Conventions research showed me that these were the standard roles in a teen horror like mine should include. However, I decided to challenge this and only include 4 teenagers as protagonists, all of a middle class demographic which they would portray on screen. Teenagers often have a stereotype of crime, laziness, being party animals, promiscuity and mood swings, which I didn't make obvious in my film as these are extremes of how teenagers actually behave, therefore a minority. However, I did not disregard these common stereotypes as I made the promiscuity assumption a major theme in my film. This is a picture of the teenagers I am portraying. My characters are all from a middle class background which is made clear through the mise-en-scène of the film. For example, the characters' costumes, hair and makeup and the way they behave in a social environment, and even the accent and dialect, as this can have an impact on how characters are seen. For example, having a strong Essex accent automatically has connotations of being stupid, another stereotype of teenagers. As you can see, the costumes I decided for them to wear all add to the representation of my characters. They are all dressed casually and believably as these outfits were carefully chosen to which each individual would actually wear. My characters are also 2 couples in relationships, therefore I needed them to behave as though this was real. I'd done this by filming them kissing a lot, the all over each other approach, which adds to the stereotype of teenagers being amorous and affectionate. Another way of showing the middle class, reasonably well off background of my characters is from the car they are seen driving and getting out of in the film. To the audience, even owning a car shows you are affluent enough to have bought the car, paid for the insurance and road tax, paid for your licence and the lessons to get it. So this was a great way to implicitly show roughly what type of upbringing my characters have had. The car is also a 13-plate Vauxhall Corsa limited edition, therefore is a higher end first car, showing the driver, which is the character Toby, is perhaps even from an upper middle class background as he can afford this as his first car. Another character in my film I portray is a creepy B&B owner. Although this isn't a conventional stereotype you see a lot of, it has been touched on in the media before, most famously by Alfred Hitchcock in Psycho when he showed us disturbed Norman Bates as a motel owner. Despite this not being my sole inspiration, it did help me a lot in portraying a role like this. I dressed my B&B owner in a creased, dirty shirt and strange glasses to show he was still attempting to be formal and fit in with his job. Also shown to the audience how something wasn't right about him was through his dialogue and incongruous behaviour to how a stereotypical, polite and professional B&B owner should act. It was important to show the audience my